try to keep today's video short, sweet, and simple because I think Frankie's gonna wake up from his nap any minute now. So I'm gonna get started with morning meeting. We'll do some calendar. We're gonna work on a math activity and lesson today, and then you'll have a little bit of science to wrap it up if you choose to participate in that. So let's get started. Here we go. Good morning, rock stars. It is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. Which special do you have today? The beauty of this home learning is that you get to go at your own pace. So if you're feeling like your body wants to be super active today, guess what? You can have PE. If you're feeling really creative, like maybe you want to make music or make a little art project, you could choose to have music or art or a little bit of both. So instead of having a certain special every single day, you get to decide as a family. So which special are you engaging in today? Really? Well, whichever one it is, I hope that you enjoy, you do your very best, and you have fun while you're doing it. Yesterday, we learned two things, maybe three, that make an insect an insect. Do you remember what they were? Insects have to have two things, kind of three, to make it an insect. First, they have to have a certain number of legs. How many legs do they need? 6. That's right. The next thing they have to have is a certain number of body parts. Do you remember how many body parts an insect has? 3. An insect has 3 body parts. They also have antennae to smell and see and feel their way around. And often they'll have wings as well. So that is very interesting. Today, get your brain ready for math. Yahoo! We love you. Love your teachers. I'll be back in just a minute for some power word work and our new power word of the day. All right, our new power word of the day is a 3-letter word that starts with a Y. The word is, drum roll please, you. Y-O-U spells you. Spell it with me. Y-O-U. What's the word? You. You are one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. You is our new power word of the day. Remember, 3 letters, starts with a Y, is spelled Y-O-U. You. Think of a sentence with the word you in it and tell somebody at home. Good job. Okay, I thought this would be a fun little game to play with our power words. Your job is to find the word before I am able to find it and flip it over. So I will give you the word. You point to it on your screen. Try to beat me to finding it. First word is at. At. There it is. At. A-T spells at. Did you find that one? Next word is big. There it is, right up there. Big starts with a B and it's spelled B-I-G. Next word, said. Oh, here it is down here. S-A-I-D spells said. How about the word down? Down. I know D starts with a, down starts with a D. Oh, look, there it is. D-O-W-N. Down. How are you doing? Are you beating me? Ah, you guys are fast. How about the word who? It's a tricky one. I know it sounds like it starts with a, but it's really one of those W question words. W. Oh, right there. W-H-O. Who? Nice job. Let's do a couple more. How about the word of? Oh, right here. Of. O-F spells of. Nice. What about the word get? Get is one of those that is spelled exactly like it sounds. Get. Oh, right here. G-et. Get. G-E-T spells get. Let's try for the word for. There it is. FOR, 4. Last one. Let's see, this will be a bonus round. If you beat me here, you get 10,000 free points. How about the word no? Over here. That is Frankie's favorite word right now, no. Nice job with that game. This is one of those games that you can play at home with a brother or a sister or a parent. It's a fun one. Good job. Are you ready for some calendar? Here we go. When I look at the calendar, I know yesterday was Monday, which means today is Tuesday. And it is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. Why don't you echo me? So you're going to say it after I say it. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. Nice job. On a Tuesday, April 28th, we know the season is spring. Today's weather is what? Why don't you head to the window? Again, I'll give you 10 seconds to check out the weather and come back with your meteorology report. Go! All right, meteorologists, I'm wondering, is it rainy? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? Is it snowy? Is it thunderstorms? What do you think? Nice job. If we know that today is Tuesday, that means yesterday was Monday. Nice job. And today is Tuesday. That means tomorrow will be Wednesday. Wednesday starts with a W sound. Nice job. All right, stay tuned. I'm going to post a little Jack Hartman video to get your brains ready and thinking about some number bonds for the number 6. Then we'll get right into our math lesson. Have fun.
Number bonds, that make 6. I know my number bonds, they help my math stay strong. 2 parts make a whole, let's move and sing along. Right arm up for the one part, left arm up for the other part, both arms up for the whole. Let's go! 0 plus 6 makes 6. 1 plus 5 makes 6. 2 plus 4 makes 6. 3 plus 3 makes 6. 4 plus 2 makes 6. 5 plus 1 makes 6. 6 plus 0 makes 6. Those are the number bonds that make 6. 0 plus 6 makes 6. 1 plus 5 makes 6. 2 plus 4 makes 6. 3 plus 3 makes 6. 4 plus 2 makes 6. 5 plus 1 makes 6. 6 plus 0 makes 6. Those are the number bonds that make 6. I know my number bonds, they help my math stay strong. 2 parts make a whole, let's move and sing along. Number bonds.
All right, welcome to math. As you can see, I have all of my materials that I'll need today laid out so that I'm nice and organized and everything's here to grab right when I need it. If you need to pause the video now to make sure that you have a whiteboard with a number bond template in it, a marker, and some kind of eraser so you can clean your work, and your 6 linking cubes, you can pause it here to go grab those things. Press play when you're ready to get started. All right, my friends, our magic number of the day today is, drum roll please, dun, 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 6. We are thinking about 6. Put that 6 thinking cap on, lock it on your head, and get ready, because our brain is focused on the number 6. Most importantly, we're thinking about how we can break the number 6 into hidden partners, okay? There are lots of different ways to break the number 6 apart, and we're going to talk about all of those different ways today. One of your activities when we're all done with this is to try to see if you can list all the different hidden partners or the different ways to make 6 at the end of this. I'm going to start out with a story, okay? There was a squirrel named Sandy. She was a cute little thing, but she liked to do something tricky. She liked to bury her nuts. So I'm going to pretend that my cubes today are her nuts, okay? She has 6 of them. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a couple seconds to count your cube stick to make sure that you only have 6 cubes. Go ahead. Okay, glad to hear that you only have 6 cubes. Here's my first story about Sandy the squirrel. She buried 2 of her nuts by the tree. There are the 2 that she buried by the tree. And she buried the rest of them by a flower. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of them over here, just like this. We know that Sandy buried 2 nuts by a tree and the rest of her nuts by the flower. Well, how many were by the flower? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could I use my marker to draw a picture of what we just did with our cubes? Of course we can. I can replace these cubes with the number 2. And I could replace or move these cubes and write something in its place, which should be the number 4. We just found hidden partners in the number 6. We found one way to break the number 6 into 2 groups or hidden partners. They kind of hide inside of that number as their separate groups. Remember to write a number sentence at the bottom, which will look like this. We know we started with all 6 of those cubes in the party circle, which is the same as breaking them into groups of 4 and 2. We just wrote 6 is the same as 4 and 2. You go ahead and take a little bit of time to write that number sentence, please. Good job. We just found hidden partners, and I think that I'll actually make a little list over here. I have another whiteboard over here that you can't see. I'm going to make a list of all the hidden partners that we are able to find in that number 6. All right, I'm going to give you 6 seconds to erase. Go ahead. Now, you guys are lucky because you have your number bond template all made for you, but I actually have to redraw mine every time. That's okay. Okay, different story about Sandy's nuts this time, because she still buried some of her nuts, but this time, instead of burying 2 by the tree and 4 by the flower, she actually went over and buried some by the sidewalk and some by the lamp post. Now remember, she started out with 6 nuts all together. That's our magic number of the day. But some of them she buried by the sidewalk, and the rest of them she buried by the lamp post. How many nuts did Sandy bury by the sidewalk? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. How many? 3. And how many did she bury by the lamppost? 1, 2, 3. Wait, the parts are the same? 3? So you're telling me that 6 is the same as 3 and 3? 3 and 3 are hidden partners in 6? Oh my golly. See if you can write that number sentence. 6 is the same as 3 and 3. I'm going to write it too, and then we can check our work to see if we came up with the same thing. Go ahead. All right, did you finish? This is absolutely correct. 3 and 3 are hidden partners in that number 6. If you start with the number 6 and you take 3 away, you're always going to have 3 left. I'm going to add that over here to our list of hidden partners that we came up with. So far, we've found hidden partners of 4 and 2, along with hidden partners of 3 and 3. Those are 2 different ways to make the number 6. Let's erase. I'll give you 4.5 seconds this time to erase. See if you can beat me. Did you beat me? Ah, stinkers. All right, I need to draw my number bond again. I'm going to actually draw mine this way this time. Let's see if we can switch it up a little bit. If you would like to turn your number bond so it's matching mine, that's fine. If you want to keep it the way it is, that's fine too. This time I'm going to put my cubes back together. That little Sandy chickadee, she still is starting out with those same 6 cubes. I'm sorry, those same 6 nuts. She must love the number 6. Maybe that's how many she can fit in her cheeks. Only 6 of them. Well, Sandy got a little sneaky one day, and she hid 5 of them by the mailbox. The rest of them, she buried them under the front porch. Listen again. She had 6 nuts. She buried 5 by the mailbox. She put the rest of them by the front porch. How many did she put by the front porch? Just 1. And how many did we hear she put by the mailbox? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Now, whoa, we just found another pair of hidden partners. In the number 6, we found hidden partners of 5 and 1. Can you try to write a number sentence to match this story? Go ahead, when you're all done, check mine to see if it matches. Did you come up with the same thing that I came up with? Let's read this sentence. 6 is the same as 5 and 1. Another way to say the sentence is 6 equals 5 plus 1. All that means is that if you have 6 altogether, you could break them into groups of 5 and 1. I still have 6, but they're in 2 separate groups. Just like here, they're in our 2 separate part circles. Let me add that to our list of hidden partners. All right, last one. Erase, erase, erase. Erase, erase, erase. We are going to erase, erase, erase. Woo! I've added 3 pairs of hidden partners to the number 6. Let's see if we can come up with one more, and then we'll be done. All right, our girl Sandy's back. How many cubes does she fit in her cheeks altogether? Magic number of the day is 6. Woohoo! Well, Sandy was tired one night. Guess where she put all of her nuts? Behind the tire of the car. All 6 of them went behind the tire. If she put all 6 of her nuts behind the car tire, how many does she have left to put over here under the back deck? 0. She has no nuts left because she put them all behind the car tire. Oh, look at that. New hidden partners. 6 and 0 are hidden partners in the number 6. Let's write that number sentence. Here we go. What do we start with? The whole 6. What comes next? Is the same as, what are the 2 parts? 6 and, what's my other part? 0. Wonderful. I'm going to add that to our list over here. We were able to come up with 4 ways to make 6. Now, I am glad that I remembered to bring these home because these usually get hung up in our classroom when we start learning about this. I have one of these for every number, but it lists all the different ways to make each number, the hidden pairs. But, something's a little bit odd to me because I see in our list we've made 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to make 6. This looks like a list that is much longer. How many ways or hidden partners do they have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did we miss some? What do you think? Oh, I just noticed something. I noticed that this one, 6 is the same as 6 and 0, have the same hidden partners as this one down here. They just flip-flopped the parts. Check it out. 6 and 0 are the same hidden partners as they are here. Oh, look at 5 and 1. These numbers down here are 5 and 1. They're the same way to break them apart. They just flip-flopped where the parts were. Kind of like if I were to go back to this number bond here, instead of writing 6 is the same as 6 and 0, I could have written it the other way. 6 is the same as, I could of course put this part first, 0 and 6. So even though they're the same hidden partners, there's 2 ways to write those hidden partners. That's why it looks like there's so many different ways to make 6, but really, these are the hidden partners found in the number 6. Good work with that, my friend. Please erase your boards. Your next job is going to be to get lesson 7 problem set out of your math binder. So why don't you pause the video here, go grab that, and then we'll work on that together. Great job. You know one of the most important jobs at the top of your paper is to write your name. So go ahead and get started writing your name at the top. The date is 4/28/2020. Remember, when we're working on these pages, if you ever need to stop and pause the video because you need a couple more seconds to catch up, that's absolutely fine. The first direction says, look at the birds. Make 2 different number bonds. Tell a friend about the numbers you put in one of the bonds. So, of course, you're going to have to tell a parent or a brother or sister that you're with. But we need to make up 2 different number bonds here that talk about this one picture. So right now I want you to think in your head, what are some different ways you could split up these birds? When I look at it, I think right away of a couple different groups of birds that I see. What do you see? Good. Do you see some big birds and some little birds? I do. Do you see some white birds and some gray birds? Yeah, me too. Those are two different ways that we could break up these birds. So if you have a different way, of course, you can go ahead and do it your own way. But if you would like some guidance and you'd like to stay with me, I'll go ahead and do it the way that I see we could break them up into groups. So this first one, we know we have to talk about the whole, or all the birds at the party together. So let's count all the birds up to figure out what's going to be in our whole, or the party circle first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to fill in my party circle with the number 6. Oh my goodness, you guys, that was our magic number of the day. How about it? Don't you love when our problem sets match our lesson from the day? So special. The first number bond that I'm going to do, I think I'm going to talk about the big birds as one group and the little birds as another group. So this will be the circle, or the part that talks about my big birds, and this will be my part that talks about the little birds. Let's count how many big birds I have first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's one part. The other one was talking about, this was talking about big birds, then this part was talking about the little birds. How many little birds do you see in this group? 2? I do too. We just found the hidden partners for the number 6 when we were talking about groups of big birds and little birds. Now in this number bond over here, I'm going to talk about a different grouping. So why don't you go ahead and fill that in the way that I did, or if you want to do it your own way to find hidden partners in the number 6, go ahead and do that too. I'll give you a couple seconds to work on that. Good job. Next over here, I think I'm deciding that I'm going to do my different groups or parts of gray birds and white birds. So of course, all the birds together will be in my whole, but my parts will be talking about gray birds, white birds. Let's look at how many gray birds I have first to talk about this first part. That's white. Oh, there's a gray bird. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 gray birds. If there are 3 gray birds, then how many white birds are in this picture? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that one where the number's the same. I found my parts. Last I have to find my whole, all the birds together. How many birds are there all together? There's 6. You could count them again if you needed to, but we remember from this one there were 6. We just found 2 different ways to do a number bond, finding 2 different sets of hidden partners by looking at this one picture up here. Sorry about that. Down here, now, you guys know Mrs. Genecco likes to be flexible with her coloring. This gives very specific colors about what colors you need to color these cubes. Guess what? I have one single blue marker here. So I'm going to adjust. I'm going to be flexible. I'm going to make an adaptation to use the directions that they give me, but in my own way. It says here, color some squares green. I don't have green. And the rest yellow. I also don't have yellow. Write numbers in the bonds to match the colors of your squares. Okay, the colors really don't matter. They want us to color some squares, leave some squares white. Okay, we just have to tell that we have 2 different color squares here. I'm going to use my one marker. If you want to go stop and go get a green and a yellow crayon, by all means do. If you want to use one marker or pen or pencil, go for it. What they're asking me to do is to color some of the squares and leave some of them a different color. Okay, now when we hear that word some, I think, oh yeah, woohoo, yippity-yah, I get to pick the numbers here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody's telling me what I have to color, how many I have to color, or what mine needs to look like. I get to choose. Whoop, whoop. I am going to first start by seeing how many cubes there are all together before I decide how many I want to color. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, 6 again, that magic number of the day appears. If there are 6 cubes here, can I color 11 of them? No, Goofy, there's only 6 to begin with. I'm going to decide that I want to color one of them. Can you go ahead and color 1 cube? Now I can tell that my parts, now remember, we're not in art class, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. I can tell that one of my parts is going to talk about my colored cubes. The other part is going to talk about that other color cube. Mine happened to be white still. So when I look at my first part, it's talking about my colored cubes. How many colored cubes do I have? Just one. If I have one colored cube, how many white cubes do I have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Were 5 and 1 hidden partners for 6? They sure were. Nice job. Over here, you can go ahead and do the same thing. Why don't you take a little bit of time to do this independently to make sure that you're understanding what we're doing here before you go on to the back side for your homework. So again, you get to color any number of these cubes that you want and then fill in the number bond to match. Go ahead and take a couple seconds to do that, and we'll be back to talk about your homework. Nice job. If you need more time with that, you can go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, I'm going to go on to explain about your homework. When you flip to the back side of this page, you will see Lesson 7 homework. At the top here, it says, look at the presents. Make 2 different number bonds. Tell an adult about the numbers you put in the number bond. Okay, that sounds an awful lot like this bird problem where we had to make 2 different number bonds about the same picture. So my first time I split them up by big birds and little birds. The second time I split them up by gray birds and white birds. It looks like you could probably do something very similar or almost the same with these presents. Okay, so we don't want to see 2 number bonds that look exactly the same. I want to see 2 number bonds that are different because you could group these presents differently. Maybe ones with bows, ones without bows, ones that are gray, ones that are white, ones that are big, ones that are little. Okay. It also says down here on the back of your paper, maybe you'll want to make an adaptation and get a new piece of paper. Draw 6 presents and sort them into 2 groups. Make a number bond and fill it in according to your sort. So you might need an adult to help you with this side, and that's totally okay. If you'd like to take a picture and add it on Seesaw to show me your work because you're feeling super proud, I would love to see those. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I can catch you on Zoom today between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. if you're free. Love you guys. Happy Tuesday. If you have time today and you're looking for something to challenge your brain, head over to the optional activity on Seesaw to see if you can fill out all the different hidden partners for the number 6. I'll post a copy of mine as the second page in the template, so you can check your work when you're done. Thanks again. Have a great day. Love ya.